As somebody who loves the Fortune Lady archetype and has been trying to make the deck work for a very long time but has had little success, man, today we're going to be ranking every single Fortune Lady card. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Sorry about that wrong OBS scene twice in a row. There we go, we're still getting used to my Stream Deck buttons, okay? So, we are going to be starting out with a card, Inherited Fortune, a card that I have never used. We're going to be ranking everything, of course, from S to F tier, which I forgot to mention. This was a card where you can activate it during the turn a Fortune Lady was destroyed. During your next standby phase, you can special summon 2 Fortune Lady monsters from your hand. It's not powerful. You don't always have the proper cards in your hand in order to, like, make things work. I just flat out, like, think that this, isn't a good card in general, and this one, unfortunately, is going into the D tier. But continuing on over to Fortune Lady Calling, this is one of the cards that I personally don't use in the deck. I have it on my other monitor over here. There's a couple that I need reminders of what they do, okay? If you control a Fortune Lady monster, special summon 1 Fortune Lady monster from your deck with a different name from the card that you control. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you can now special summon monsters from the extra deck, except Synchro monsters. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, okay? This just brings another Fortune Lady monster to the field, and I personally don't think that out of everything that you can add to the deck, I don't think it's all that great. I'm going to put this one in the C tier, but I could see why people end up wanting to run this card. Fortune Lady Water, though. I actually really like this card, and I've played around with it so many times. I've run 1 copy, I've run 3 copies, and I can never really get the idea of what I end up wanting to actually have with it. Fortune Lady Water, it's and I forgot to mention, like, of course, if you might know the Fortune Lady cards, they gain attack points depending on their levels each time, and each turn, therefore, their effects end up increasing, but they all have external effects along with that. If you special summon this card while you control a Fortune Lady monster, you can draw 2 cards. I love that. Whenever you can do this, and the only problem is you have to have another Fortune Lady around for it to be special summoned, and unfortunately, like, the Future Visions doesn't, work with it, so I still think this is a good card. I'm going to be putting this one to the A tier. Fortune Lady Light. If this card's banished, you can special summon a Fortune Lady monster from your deck. Doesn't matter the level, you literally get any of your Fortune Lady cards that you want. This is absolutely an S tier card. There are so many effects that end up going with it. This, along with Future Visions, is perfect. You can banish it from, there's so many ways you can banish a card, and then you just get a free monster from your deck. I absolutely love that. Fortune Lady Dark is another pretty strong card in my opinion. This is usually my main target with Fortune Lady Light, and if you end up destroying an opponent's monster by battle, you can get another Fortune Lady. You can special summon another Fortune Lady from your graveyard. This is an incredibly useful card, and I love this one. Again, this is my main target with Fortune Lady Light. I always try to have a Fortune Lady Dark on the field. I think this is an A tier card. I'm going to put it right ahead of Fortune Lady Water. Now, Fortune's Future, Fortune's Future, you target one of your banished Fortune Lady monsters, return it to the graveyard, you draw 2 cards. It's a pretty good card. You always have some Fortune Ladies banished when you're using a Fortune Lady deck, and this is a good way to start recycling things, and you can get some targets for your Fortune Lady Dark. And the only problem is sometimes you need to use it with your targets or Future Visions, because once you return that monster to the graveyard, you don't get that back. So this is a card that you have to kind of start using a little bit in the middle of the game. I think this is a B tier card. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's a great card. But talking about good cards, we have the big baddie of the Fortune Ladies, Fortune Lady Every. Let me read you this bad boy's effect, okay? So we get 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuner spellcaster monster. It's a 7-star synchro monster, and once per turn, during your standby phase, you can increase the card's level by 1 as always. Then, you can banish 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. During the opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 other spellcaster monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. I think this is a very, very, very strong card, and the reason I had to read you the effect is because when I'm playing in Edison format, I can't use this card. It's so helpful. You get a free banish, a permanent banish, the attack points, they quickly grow, and you have a little bit of an effect that continuously ends up bringing it back to the game. I think this is a very good card. When comparing all of the Fortune Lady cards, like this, obviously these wouldn't be S tier cards in general, but in comparison to all the Fortune Lady cards, I also think this is an S tier card. Ooh, that's a toughie. Yeah, because this has the attack with it. It's kind of like the big bad monster, so this is going to be into the S tier. Now, Fortune Lady Fire. I actually think this is a little bit of an underrated card, to be honest with you. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Fortune Lady monster, you can destroy an opponent's monster, and then you can inflict damage equal to the opponent's monster that you ended up destroying. A little bit situational. I think this is one of the perfect cards to just run 1 copy of. It's very useful. Every once in a while, you can have it a target with light, and I think this is just a good card. I'm going to be putting it in the B tier, okay? Fortune Lady Wind. Another card that I actually believe is a little bit underrated. When it's normal summoned, when keyword being normal summoned, you can destroy spell and traps equal to the number of Fortune Ladies that you control. This has been incredibly helpful. I don't run anything like MST. I don't run anything like Galaxy Cyclone, depending on the format that you're playing. I don't run any back row destruction. I just run Fortune Lady Wind. I think it's a very good card, and I'm going to be putting it into the B tier at the top of B tier. Now, Fortune Lady Earth. This is my boss monster because I can't use Fortune Lady or Fortune Lady Every in the Edison format. There's not a ton to it. It's just a beat stick. You can inflict some damage to your opponent when the level ends up gaining. It's just an okay card. I'm going to put this in the B tier at the bottom of B tier. But now we continue on to a little bit more of the trap cards. Fortune Lady Rewind. You can target any number of your banished Fortune Lady monsters with different names, special summon to them, and then shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. This is another card that I unfortunately can't use. But I think this is a very good card. It's like Return from the Different Dimension, a little bit of a mid-game card, and depending what you end up stacking up being banished as the game goes on, very strong card. I'm going to be putting this one into the A tier. I'm going to put it at the top of A tier. Very, very good card. And of course, Future Visions. Not only does this help you activate all of your Fortune Ladies effects, it slows down the game a little bit, but it messes up your opponent and the flow of your opponent's game as well. I think this is an excellent card, and I'm definitely going to be putting this one with all the Fortune Ladies. This is going to go into the S tier, but Light and Every do have a little bit more to do with it. But continuing on to Fortune Vision. This is a continuous spell card. When this card is activated, you can add one Fortune Lady card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if a card or cards you control is banished by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can activate this effect. This turn, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if a card or cards your opponent controls is banished by a card effect, except during this damage step, you can make the next battle damage you take this turn become 0, even if this card leaves the field. It has a lot that it does, and it can be useful, especially, obviously, this is meant to be used with Future Visions. I don't personally use this card. I think it's just a little bit underpowered, but I wouldn't, knock anybody for using it, to be honest with you. I think it's an okay card. It's just personally not something that I would be using in my deck. This is going to go at the bottom of C tier. And finally, guys, we have Bending Destiny, another card that I cannot use, okay? It's a counter trap. Activate only face-up monsters you control are Fortune Lady monsters, which in the deck that I use, typically, it is just Fortune Lady monsters, but I have experimented with other cards here and there, okay? Negate the activation of a spell card, trap card, or the normal summon of a monster and remove that monster from play. The card removed from play by this effect is returned to the owner's hand during the end phase. So it kind of puts a stop to things right away, and I think this is a lot better if you're using it for a normal monster, but I don't like the fact that your opponent can recycle a spell or trap card, but sometimes you do need that spell speed 3. Depending on the format that I'm playing, I would obviously, or not obviously, obviously you don't know my play style, but I'm a big fan of just running 3 Solemn Judgments, running Dark Bribes, things like this, but I do like the fact that you can stop a normal monster, you can stop a spell or trap card. So I think it's a situational card. I think it's an okay card. I'm going to be putting this into the B tier. I'm going to put it right in front of Fortune Lady Fire. And with that being said, guys, that has been ranking every single Fortune Lady monster. I love this archetype so much, guys. And I believe we made a deck. Did we make a deck builder? We probably did. I don't know. Regardless, we're going to have a deck profile soon if it's not on, but we did make a Dark World profile, deck profile. If you're interested in that, you can watch it right here. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care, guys.